Oof, I am alive again. Kind of. Sorry. I've been away for a little while and videos have been a little slow and I apologize for that, but we can talk about all of that and all the reasonings why as we open these beautiful new Stride deck sets that just released for the premium format and are by far the best entry product in premium that they have ever released. So we have our three heroines here of the Limit Break era. So for those of you unaware, these basically got turned into premium product and got errataed and reprinted, and it's all kinds of really cool stuff inside these. And I think it's easier if I just kind of like open up one of them. So they basically made one for Jewel Knights, one for Rangers, one for the Cecilia Musketeers. So I'm gonna go in order of my favorites last. So that's gonna be Jewel Knights, and then Revengers will go second. So I'll put those here on the bedside. But we're gonna start off with the Musketeers here. Also, you may have noticed I'm testing out some new lighting as well, which I'm going to keep fiddling with. So basically they released these three premium Stride deck sets, premium deck sets I guess they're called, as a way to get people into premium again. I say again mostly in a Japanese context because in Japan there is a premium scene, but it's not very big. But part of the reason, or I'd say the main reason, is that there's not really any events. It's like most of the premiere events are always in standard format, and there's just not really enough effort put into premium to be like kind of sustained as a competitive format in Japan. So I'm hoping that with them releasing products like this, that is their attempt to kind of bring people back. But anyway, these boxes basically retail for 5,500 or 5,000 yen if you can find them for a bit of a discount without tax. And they include a lot of really cool stuff. So you get this storage box that you see here, and then inside you get a complete deck. And I'm not saying complete as like, oh, you get a deck and you have to like replace a bunch of things. You can play with this out of the box. You get the storage box and you get a deck box inside as well. So this one is focused around Neo Nectar, which belongs to, of course, in the past it was the Zoo Nation, but now it's of course Stoicheia. So you can use Stoicheia cards with this too, which is really, really cool. So we get a little plastic here, and then we basically lift this up so you get the actual like set off of the, you know, like little naming here off of it, unfortunately. But the sides of it are still really nice. It still says like Neo Nectar, and this is, wow, this is really pretty. It's my first time seeing it. It's actually a very nice storage box. Wow, I hope they do more of these in the future. Then you open it up and you get yourself a deck box and a complete deck as well. So wow, look at this. Look at how many cards you get. It's pretty crazy. And then you also get the deck box. Let me take that out too. So the storage box is just kind of like, it empties out when you take everything out. So it fits like about usually like 2.5 of these deck boxes. You can also like put them up like this, I guess, and it'll fit 2. But you can also use it just to store your cards. It's also very nice. The deck box itself is also very cool because you get the unit art at the front, and then you get the very pretty designs on the back and the sides. It's very, very pretty. And also the big like clan logo at the top. So kind of hope that every clan gets one of these eventually, because honestly it looks really, really nice. Putting that aside for now though, I want to show you the contents of the actual deck itself, because this is really what you get your money's worth from these. Sorry, as you can probably hear, I didn't really explain on it, but the reason why I've been gone for so long, and I mean there's a lot of reasons, but in March I was really planning to come back to like content like super full powered and just like upload every day. But as you can probably hear, my throat is, you know, sounding quite off. The reason why is because I got a nose infection, and then that like the infection, the bacteria trickled into my throat. So I've been taking antibiotics for a few days, and hopefully in a few days time it'll be back to full power, hopefully. But with all that bacteria talk out the way, let's take a look at some Musketeers. So Cecilia is the exact same as she was back in the day, so it's the exact same effect as she used to be. The same Limit Break 4, I think we already talked about this in the video, but you can cast 1 and put back 5 of your Musketeer normal units. So search your deck for 2 copies of her and call them, and then once per turn you can sack one of your Musketeer rearguards to look at top 5 to call a Musketeer from among them. So exact same effect, and you get 4 of this one. And then, well, it's actually very cool, like they're common, right? So you get Cecilia Reverse at 2 copies, which is also like, you know, normally just a triple rare, but you do get her in common. I think if I go through every single card, it'll take forever, but this is actually a really good boss unit that you want to pick up probably more copies of as well. You get 2 copies of Martina as well, and 2 copies of the Vera, the one from the V series, of course. So those are your grade 3s. Then they reprinted Sylvia once again. Of course, this is probably one of the most reprinted cards in V Premium, I think. She makes you plant tokens when she's placed. We have the Touré, of course, also at 3 copies. A bit of a interesting choice of ratios, I guess. Then the Saul, we get 4 copies here. Then the Ruth, this one was from the Cecilia Reverse Clan Collection. So we get 4 of her. She's the countercharger, which is really good. Then we have Mirka. So Mirka is the V series Mirka, not the original one. 4 copies of her. We get the Gastone. When placed for deck gets plus 10k. We have 3 copies of this one. I feel like they could have reduced this one to maybe include a 3rd copy of one of the Legion mates. Got our starter, the Kita. We have a common Stoicheia OT. This is the first time we actually have this in Japanese. I know you guys already got it in English with the Night Rose deck set, but we don't actually have this in common yet. So this completes the set, I think, outside of Bermuda, I think. And then they reprinted all of the effect triggers. So it's like you get 4 of the on attack in soul crits. Then you get 4 of the stride crits. You get 3 of the draw PGs as well, and 4 non-foil Heal Guardians. This is very weird to look at. And most importantly, this is honestly, these 2 cards are where most of the value in this box sits, which is you get a free Elementaria Sanctitude and a Harmonics Messiah. The Sanctitude, of course, is unsurprisingly common, but the, of course, Harmonics is also common, but it is the errata wanting you to get 1 per box, and unfortunately does not have the cool stride back. The cool stride back has been completely discontinued in Japan, unfortunately, but still. So it's still really cool that you get this card. Of course, the foil one has, you know, still kept its value, but the rest have tanked in price, which is nice. You do get a foil card, which is the errata Virginal Cecilia. So you do get it in foil, which is quite nice, but you can see that it's like a blanket of text here. So you get 4 copies of that one, 1 copy of the Vladislava, 1 copy of Green Katrina, also in common, which is a bit uncanny, 2 copies of the other Cecilia Stride that you flip face up for this one's cost, and then we have 1 GB8 is in here too, and 1 Sandrine. And then for G-Guards, you get the GB1 G-Guard, 1 copy, 1 Antero, 1 Robertina, 1 of the Rain Breath Dragon, and 1 of the Elemental ones, the Coalburn. So that's kind of interesting. At least the Coalburn choice is a bit questionable. You get a Quick Shield, you get a Guardian Shield, and actually I never got to show this in the video, but I actually own a very special kind of Guardian Shield. So this was given away when Vanguard 0 ended as part of like a set to commemorate like Vanguard Zero's existence, I guess. So they were available in Tri 3 and Q4 types, and I'm really glad I got the Tri 3 one, so it's like foil and stuff. So they actually have like alt art, you know, Guardian Shield tickets, which is nice. But the normal one looks like this, basically. It's one of the newer additions, I guess, to Premium. You do get a triple rare foil Force Marker. So this one is not double-sided, it's just a single-sided one. So you get 1 in triple rare, the rest are in common foil, and then 1 triple rare of the Force 2s. This also looks really, really good, and then the rest are, of course, in common. And the crest itself, which is the new card, is also in triple rare. So the technical 2 new cards, I guess. I mean, like I don't know if you can call an errata a new card. But basically the stride skill got a update patch, basically, that you can stride this even going first as long as you have a Limit Break 4 possessing grade 3 Cecilia. If you haven't gotten any gifts yet this game, you can ditch grade 3s to stride this and then flip a Musketeer face up in your G-Zone. You get 2 Force Markers, and then you also get the Cecilia crest. So that's like the only new effect this card has. But so basically it says if your heart is the Limit Break 4 Cecilia, then your Virginal Cecilia on your Vanguard circle gets all of your original Cecilia's abilities and the continuous skill that whenever your Cecilia is placed from deck, you draw 1 and give that unit plus 10k. So it really buffs what Cecilia does. It also turns Cecilia into a 13k power unit and also makes it so that you can use Limit Break 4 abilities up Limit Break 3 or less, which is also very nice. If you're a newer player just watching this curious about Premium, what Limit Break 4 is that it's an ability you can only normally use at 4 more damage. But of course, that's not very good in modern standards, so they made it easier to use by being able to use those effects whenever you want. But yeah, the triple rare crest looks really good, especially like it's green. It looks very, very nice, and the foiling fits it really well. It feels like this foiling feels like the triple rare pattern of like set 7, the original set 7 in Japan. I don't know if anybody remembers what that looks like, but it's pretty cool. And then you also get some plant tokens. You can use these in standard too, which is really nice. So very cool that they include all this. So honestly, just for like, I mean, it's like AOT is also something, but to me, just having these 2 in a set is already like, it's basically paying for it. Everything else in here is just bonus compared to what this is. Like, it's pretty crazy what you get in one of these boxes. So that was the Cecilia one. Now let's take a look at the Raging Form one. So this is the Revenger one. So you can indeed just buy this and be able to play Revengers already in Premium, which is really cool. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't particularly play Premium these days, again, because there's no events. And I just focus on standard and play other card games instead on top of that. But I do think that this has made getting into premium really easy, so I think just for that reason I do recommend it. Look around the storage box, you have the beautiful Shadow Paladin design all over the place. This looks really nice. The like ice blue looks really sick. Like, oh my god, look at that. It's just insane how good this looks. Sorry if you hear my voice cut out, it's just because I stopped to cough, because kind of weird. It's been quite good lately, but especially at night, which is when I'm recording this, it gets pretty bad. So I probably should have thought before recording, but alas, it's already a week late. I kind of want to just get this out. You may be wondering what I've been up to this last week that I've been sick on, and I've basically been editing old videos. I read the first 100 chapters of One Piece, been playing a lot of Grand Blue Fantasy. I played through basically all of Relink except for the very last chapter. Been grinding like Shadowverse, just kind of like doing stuff that isn't videos and streams. But I've been really wanting to make videos and streams, and honestly it's like, sorry, we should probably look through this first. You can see this beautiful deck box. It's very nice ice blue. Really like those. Honestly, these colors look super good. I'm a huge fan of this. But let's open this up and then I'll talk while we go through the cards. But yeah, I've been like January I had family visiting, and then I got a little bit busy with my academia stuff. And then February was Worlds, and I was in my invitational, and like a lot of people were here, so I was like really busy like entertaining people. And then we finally got into March. All of my deadlines and all of like the stuff that usually keeps me busy finally ended. I was like, yes, I can finally go ham on content, and I lose my voice for a week. It's now been more than a week. Like, it's pretty crazy that I'm still not fully recovered, but that's just like, it's just how bad this infection was. But luckily the antibiotics are doing their thing, so hopefully I recover and get back to full health soon. But anyway, here's Raging Form Dragons. This is the original one from way back in 2013, I want to say. It kept all of its original effects too. It's just the crest makes them even better. So you still ride from hand and get plus 10k. Still does the good thing. There's Raging Fall Dragon here, of course, the reversed version from Clan Collection. We have V Drag Ruler in here for some reason. I mean, he technically does work, right? Because he just needs you. I mean, the on-ride skill is like what? You search your deck for a Revenger, call it to rear if your opponent's at 4 or less damage. Oh, you have to Soul Blast the Mordred Phantom to deal the damage? Never mind. And he needs Blaster Dark for the second skill. Why is this in here? You can barely use this card. I mean, it looks cool, but all you can do is on-ride call a card, basically. It's kind of weird. This card is pretty cool though. This is like the ride fixer. These were around back in the day. It's like if you ride this over Revenger, you can CB1, ditch 1, and then ride a Raging Form from your deck, and then he goes back to your hand, so you can ditch him for stride cost. Like, these were actually very useful back in the day, so I kind of wish this was just 4 instead of the Drag Ruler. Then we have V-Series Tartu. I recall this card being okay. It was like Soul Blast 1 and call a Revenger grade 1 or lower to a Rearguard Circle, then retire at the end of the turn, so it's pretty alright. Dark Bless Angels really appreciated that they reprinted 4 of this, but the best reprint of all is Mana. So they reprinted Mana as a 3 of. This is a really old card from original set, I want to say, was it 15? I'm pretty sure the Glendio set was 15. So this is the set that the original Drag Ruler came from. So very good card. Calls a Revenger, grade 1 or lower from your deck, and then puts it back later. Really good card. This was a V card, but a very good V card. So 4 copies of him. Rakia is cool, I guess, and I mean, it calls stuff, gains power, it's not too bad. We do have the Oife. She was like, rest her top 5 for a Raging Form Dragon and add it to your hand, and if you didn't, then you give 2k to something. That's like nothing. You get 3 copies of her, so pretty good reprints, honestly, for Avengers. They definitely got some good ones. Didn't reprint Darpon, but it's kind of okay. We got our common OT, we got our Soul G crits, our Stride crits at 4, Drop PGs at 3. You might be wondering why only 3 Drop PGs. That's because we get Elementary Sanctitude, and you can only have 4 Sentinels in a deck. Common, Heal Guardians, and of course, again, the big highlight, these 2 cards. Dude, I'm taking them out every time. It's like, I need these in my standard decks anyway, so it's always very appreciated. We have Raging Rap Dragon, shares the same effect as Cecilia that we showed earlier, so you basically, you know, if you're on a grade 3 Revenger, Raging Form Dragon, that's Limit Break 4, you can ditch grade 3s from hand, ride this as stand, and then flip a Revenger in your G-Zone face up, get 2 forces, and the Raging Form Crest. So I'll show you what that is in a second. We get the GB8 at 1 copy. This card isn't really played anymore, unfortunately. The Kuruwaha, this is a good stride from Premium Collection. We do get Chain Ranker reprinted. This is a very sought after card that is very good. It copies the effect of the card it's over, and also forces a guard restrict, which is really strong. The Drag Ruler Stride, I guess the Revenger you can flip, so it's good for flipping for Raging Rapt. It does force you to play mid in your G zone, which is unfortunate. And then only one more Fessa. I think there was an error on one of their streams where they showed two in this set, but turns out it's just one. It's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Ludovic. Then we have the Dark Veil Dragon. This is a pretty good G-Guard. This one's the good one from the previous premium collection. So only one copy of this one. And then Yerid. We get one copy of the GB1 one. And then again, the Scry Elemental one. They kind of missed on, what was it called again? The Ritual one. The Ritual G-Guarding would have been a good one to put in here as well. So we get the 2 tickets. We get a foil Raging Form Force 1. Looks very nice. Of course, Daisuke Izuka art, always a banger, always pops. Should probably put these a bit up here. So we get 3 in common, and then the Raging Rapt Force 2 looks also very good in foil, so that's a nice little addition. And then we get the Raging Form Dragon Crest. So this one's purple. This one's very, very cool. This one says that if you have a Raging Form Dragon Heart, then the Raging Rapt Dragon on your Vanguard circle says that instead of paying its normal cost for the on attack effect, you can just retire 3 Revenger Rearguards instead, which is really, really good. And then it turns your, of course, Raging Forms to 13k and makes their Limerick 4s work at 3 or less damage too, which is very, very good. So overall, I think the Raging Form one is, as just a product to like take out of the box and fight with, honestly might be the best one. Because it just feels like it's definitely like very easy to just like satisfy all the conditions that the deck wants and just kind of like get on going. And these kind of decks that like, you know, do multiple Vanguard restands in one turn are just like hard to really fail with. It's kind of like, if you can do it, chances are you can just kind of win. So I think that's what makes it pretty strong. So anyway, finally we have my favorite one, which is Jewel Knights. So leading Jewel Knight Salome. It is the original art. I really like her V series art. So she's drawn by Hagiya Kaoru sensei. If you are a standard player, you might know Hagiya Kaoru sensei for drawing Varga Dragress and also other famous units. But this is one of the oldest designs that Hagiya sensei drew in Vanguard. And honestly, it's like, it looks very different. Like especially the colors and like the composition looks a lot different. Even if you compare her art from back here to her V series art, it's very different. This feels like more of like a design you'd see in something like Fire Emblem, especially like a Teleus era game like Path of Radiance, or like a Trails game, I guess. There's a lot of like game genres, titles that you could see this kind of design in, which that was part of the reason why I liked her so much back in the day and still do today as well. So the colors of this one are really nice. They're a little bit pink purple. It's this like mint pink. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's really, really pretty. It fits her super well. It looks like a jewel. That's honestly the best way to put it, I think. So we get the deck as well as a deck box in here. So a closer look at the deck box. Of course, we have Salome pictured on it. I think we do have a Salome deck box from back in the day. We also technically have several Salome sleeves from back in the day too. So there's the deck box from all the different sides. Very, very pretty. And of course, the cool logo at the top. Sorry, you can probably tell my voice is giving out. So I'm like trying to not like push it to its limit too much, but also trying to wrap this up, as we go as well. But I do have some commentary to do over this weekend, so I do have to preserve my voice a little bit. And I think throughout the weekend, I'll be uploading stuff that I pre-recorded from before. But next week, we'll definitely be going back into content mode unless my voice really does continue to die, which I hope it doesn't. Especially because we have big news next week, so that's gonna be exciting. Anyway, original Limerick 4 Salome at 4 copies, still as beautiful as the day we first met. She's just gracious. 2 Ashleys. I think you definitely want to pick up 2 more of these. I don't know how much they're going for, but I mean, with the reprint, they shouldn't be going for that much. They're very, very good. Actually, reverse should also be okay, but it's not so much a Vanguard, I guess, in this deck as much as she was in her own deck. So I would just max out on this Ashley. Very, very important card. 2 copies of Ivan. I guess it's a reprint because Swordme got reprinted, but didn't need him as much. This is nice though. The Lyle. So she's a 4 of a very good Jewel Knight rearguard that helps you keep generating soul and, using your resources. Sybil 4 times. Yeah, nice. 4, a very good reprint. She's also very good. Keeps Superior and calling new cards. And then, of course, the Swordme reprint. It's also nice to see a card with the Legion thing. So if you, again, this is for, man, it's kind of crazy to be explaining this in 2024. But back in the day, we had this little mechanic called Legion where you'd actually have 2 cards on the Vanguard circle. It's kind of like Buff Sagara Arms. Except it would be like 2 different cards with power, right? So they would be formed together by that little like golden symbol you see in the middle there. So during your turn, you would combine their powers. And so when they would attack, they would attack together, and then like you would use the effects So if the Legion, so you have the Legion leader and the Legion mate, and if the Legion mate had a Vanguard circle effect, you could also use it. So it was a pretty cool mechanic. It didn't last for too long. It got a lot of legacy support though, so it was pretty cool. And I'm sure a lot of people would like to see it back too. But most importantly, what we got back is Sword Me at 3 copies. This card is really good. I mean, it's just when you call it from on rear, you cannot bust a Jewel Knight. You have to specifically cannot bust the card with Jewel Knight in its name. And you can call it Jewel Knight grade 1 or lower from your deck to your rear guard circle. And we're going to show you some of those good targets, right? So Morwood is a great target. She calls you cards. Very nice. Eunice is also a very good card. Also draws you cards and like gives you soul, all that kind of stuff. 4 copies of her. Christine also got reprinted. Another huge good card. She helps you get the Jewel Knights grade 3s into your hand from your deck, which is really nice. And they also reprinted the History Collection Tiffany starter, which I'm very thankful for because I didn't get this one from my History Collection boxes. So overall, they really knocked out with the reprints. We get the Keter OT again. So I mean, these are both Keter decks that got the Stride deck sets. We have 4 of the Soul crits, 4 of the Stride crits, 3 of the Isolde Draw PG, and 4 common Heal Guardians. And of course, the main value of the box as always, which is very nice. I think realistically from these 3, if I'm going to play any of these decks, it is actually the Jewel Knight one because I really do love Jewel Knights. I actually own full V-era Jewel Knights, and I have most of the, I think, Japanese G-Zone for the Jewel Knight deck in general, outside of stuff like Evangeline. So very happy about this. So of course, she's the same one that gives you 2 force markers and the Salome crest, just like the Raging Form and the Cecilia. So very nice to get this 1 in foil and 3 in non-foil. Then for the strides, we get 1 of the Eurogias, we get 1 of the GB8. Pretty nostalgic to see GB8. I think what GB8 came out in 2016, so it's like 8 years ago. We do have a Crystal Luster, very sought after reprint. This is an amazing card. It copies the effects of your heart, so you can combine this with the V-Series Ashleys to make some amazing things. And also puts a Battle Door on your opponent, a Super Battle Door, 3 at the same time or more. It's really good. They put Saint of Twin Sword in here too, which is also a really good generic stride, which is very nice. So happy about that. And then 2 Air Miles. That's also a pretty okay stride to put in here too. For G-Guards, we have the Motor Ghost, we have the Doggo, Divine Masgal, very good reprint too. Definitely a very sought after G-Guard. Then we have the Laser Guard Dragon, the Andoragius, as well as the Colburn. So then we have our Quick Shield, Guardian Shield, and ooh, Salome triple rare Force 1. Looks very pretty. Really nice because she has the United Sanctuary flag behind her. We haven't really seen too much of this kind of style, like where they have like put the flag of like the nation behind a card, which like I feel like they should, because especially we've gone to the nation system, so it would make even more sense, right? So we get 3 of it in common too, and then the Evangeline Force 2, which she's also very pretty. So her in triple rare, and then of course 3 in common, and the Salome crest. So the Salome crest says if your heart is a Salome with Limit Break 4, then your Vanguard Circle Evangeline gets the original effect of your original heart, and whenever you pay the cost for the first time of that heart skill, it gets reduced by CB2. So you can call a Jewel Knight for free instead of paying CB2 for Salome's effect. And she becomes a grade 3 with 13k power, as well as her Limit Break 4 can be used at Limit Break 3 or lower as well. So overall, it's very cool. I think in general, this is probably my favorite of the Stride deck sets, and just in general, I quite like Jewel Knights in general. So that has been a quick unboxing and look at the Stride deck sets, the premium deck sets that are very nice, 5,000 yen, like $50 entry product into premium, and it's honestly the best ones they've made so far. You get a full G-Zone of 16 cards, you get a full main deck of 50 cards where you don't really need to replace that much. Lots of good reprints like Harmonics, Elementary Sanctitude, all the triggers, you know, a lot of staples, a lot of old cards that were really hard to find too. So overall, this product is 100% a 10 out of 10. Very good stuff from Bouchard, and I hope they do more of these more often as well. So if you enjoyed this look at these premium deck sets that are available now in Japanese and should be out in English in a couple months or so, make sure to get your pre-orders in if you haven't already, because I think in Japan, the pre-orders went out of stock as soon as we started to know the actual main deck contents. So I'm assuming a similar thing is probably happening in English, so definitely place your pre-orders if you want to get them, and support your local game store. But otherwise, thank you very much for your patience. I know I've been away for quite a while, and also on my Twitch as well. I mean, when I can't use my voice, I can't really use it on streams or videos. So thank you for your patience and waiting for me to return in good health. I promise there's a lot of cool content that is in the works, and some stuff we recorded over the Worlds weeks as well that I'm still kind of working on editing. And just in general, like once I'm back in full power, there's a lot of really cool things I want to make as well, and I think it's going to be a very exciting upcoming week for Vanguard too. So you'll be seeing a lot of me over these next few weeks. But anyway, with that out the way, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you liked it, give it a like, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. You can also support the channel by becoming a YouTube channel member and get access to some bonus content as well. And of course, it helps to support the channel too. But with that, that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.